Your mother's favorite brothers, punchlines and playbooks here, and today we're going to talk about why the Houston Rockets, yes, I'm saying it, the Houston Rockets are guaranteed to win the 2026 NBA championship. 6 reasons why, I'm going to show you right here, and if you don't like what I'm saying, send me your address, we can fight. So addressing the scoring situation, the Warriors made the Rockets look weird because they couldn't score in the half court. Why? Because Jalen Green was their go-to guy, and he's just not ready to be a go-to guy. You replace him with Kevin Durant. All of a sudden, you have an amazing go-to scorer. We're talking about the Slim Reaper. He's still that dude. Yes, he's old. Yes, his back hurts all the time, but he is still that dude. He shot 40, 50, 90 almost every single year since he tore his Achilles tendon. He's still a go-to guy, and that's going to help them out a whole lot with their half-court scoring situations, and it's going to create opportunities for everybody else on the floor. They've got a fantastic coach. Ime Udoka, he's a fantastic coach. He does X's and O's. He understands how to deal with characters and personalities, superstars, if you will. And he really likes to focus in on defense. He understands the defensive side of the game, and he has a bunch of talented defensive players. Plus, he's got a cheat code that most coaches don't have. If things start to go bad, and let's say the Warriors are going crazy, he knows where the family locker room is, and he can just go sit with one of the wives and make the players not feel comfortable, because, you know, Ime Udoka ain't got no boundaries. You gotta have depth. You got to be able to run 9, 10 players deep, and they can. And they were doing that last year with a bunch of guys that were 25 years and younger. Now this year, they add in Clint Capella. They re-sign Steven Adams. They bring in Kevin Durant. They bring in Dorian Finney-Smith. And they bring in a little surprise player that they didn't even play last year, Reed Shepherd. So now the depth is even stronger than it was last year. So yes, they lose out on Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks. And Dillon Brooks kind of had to go because, you know, he pokes bears. Defense. This team was a top 5 defense in the league last year. Top 5 with a bunch of players under 25 years old. So that shows effort is already being applied. They're only going to get better with time, and we're going to see that this season. Plus, like I said, adding in Dorian Finney-Smith, who can arguably guard 1 through 5. Clint Capella, who only wants to grab rebounds and block shots. Steven Adams, who's a big bully. Like, you have all the pieces to add in. Plus, Amen Thompson. And if you don't know who Amen Thompson is, wake up. Stop focusing on the Diddy trial so much and get familiar. Amen Thompson is an absolute animal. And you set him next to Kevin Durant and tell Kevin, all you got to do is score? Easy. Rebounding. This is an elite rebounding team. Last year, they led the entire league in offensive rebounds. It wasn't close. And then you add in Clint Capella. You add in Dorian Finney-Smith and Kevin Durant. Adding on the kind of players that you're putting with this roster makes it so much easier for them to do what they did last year even better. And yes, there is a home court advantage. Jay Prince has put the word out. And every team that comes into Houston has to check in before their players can get on the court. You don't check in with him, you don't check in the game. So it's going to be a lot of teams that are going to have little sensitive guys that don't want to go see him and make the payment. And that's when you factor in, the Rockets added Kevin Durant to a team that was number 2 in the West already. He was already a good team, and then you add Kevin Durant, you add Dorian Finney-Smith, you add Clint Capella, you put these pieces in places where they're supposed to be. I just don't see how this team loses. And if you don't agree with what I'm saying, like I said, jump in my inbox, send me your address, and we can fight. Woo, child.